Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we are taking a look at Zool. Way back in the day, we had a lot of choice words about this character. When he first released, he was crazy strong, but now he's actually one of my favorite chill characters to play. There's nothing really like split pushing in Heroes when everything's going right and you have full map control, and Zool has so many tools to help you get there. He was added into the game on March 1st, 2016. Man, I actually still remember that like it was just yesterday. And he was basically unkillable. He had way too much health, way too much damage, and had very close to a 65% win rate. It wasn't quite Mr. 65, but it was absolutely ridiculous. And of course, because he was so strong, he was in every single game. After his release, they tried shuffling some talents around maybe like a year later, but ultimately ended up reworking most of Zool's kit a few years later on March 11th, 2020. So about 4 years after his release. And since then, that's pretty much the Zool that we have in the game right now. In fact, he's barely been touched since. Of all the characters that have been patched recently, Zool is actually at the bottom of that list, or 6 up from the bottom. His last patch was July 15th, 2020, and well, he has no reason to be changed since then. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Speaking of balance, he's sitting at a 50.57% win rate, a popularity of 9.46%, and a ban rate of only 1.62. I remember when Zool was added to the game, he literally opened up new strategies. This is back when buildings still had ammunition. He could push 2 waves, like on Blackheart's Bay, the top and the middle lane, into towers, draining ammunition the entire time. He kind of made the split soak and let your team all group up in one lane thing possible, to the point that they had to redesign structures to compete with this emerging play style that they didn't want. This is actually a very significant character in the Heroes roster. Now, I went on a little rant in this game, okay? I'll admit it, moment of weakness. However, I've been cramming to get videos done while I go and visit my grandma for her birthday on Easter weekend. Really important to me, but I wanted to keep videos going. We recorded, like 30 videos in advance to make sure everything was going smooth on the YouTube channel. And getting this video done was turning in to be a pain, just because of terrible attitudes in matchmaking, people giving up right away, going AFK, and just bashing each other over and over. I got a little frustrated, but we got back on track. Everything's good. We're good to go. I got it out of the system. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you enjoyed the game. It was really weird, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Sky Temple with an extremely peculiar team. Friendly team Zool, Samuro, Maiev, Anduin, and the Lost Vikings. We're going up against Kira, Greymane, Nova, Azmodan, and Stukov. Azmodan in a position where he's going to be able to get very easy stacks in this game, and he went for the right talent there. At level 1, we're going to go for Shade. This will help us avoid enemy basic attacks, but it does increase the cooldown of our defensive bone armor by a little bit. We can press 1 whenever we want. We gain 25% of our health as shields. Helps out a ton, but we're also going to be dodging those auto attacks. This enemy team is probably going to be looking for a pretty big fight at the beginning of the game here. Kira going in on our Samuro. He is able to lose the target. I'm still chasing after her here. We're going to use our... Okay, I guess we're not chasing after her anymore. He even said he wanted to kill that target. We are using our Q ability for kind of long-range poke. This allows us to spawn a scythe at a distance that will boomerang back to us. For instance, Greymane's pretty out of position here. Let's root him. Call in the scythe, bone armor to dodge some tower shots, and unfortunately, nothing happened there. Our E ability is a point-and-click route. It allows us to lock down targets, once again, like this gray man who's out of position. And if our team focuses them down, actually gets some kills as well. You'll love to see it. Lightwell is giving me a little bit of healing until Stukov runs in and silences me. I'm just going to move back to the Lightwell and keep clicking it. Now, normally, what Zul brings to the table is fantastic PvE presence. However, with what this team is looking like right now, I don't know how much of that we're actually offering here. The root will connect, so does the scythe, moving through the target, securing a kill in the top lane. And now that she's dead, honestly, the biggest thing we need to do is shove this in. We have eyeballs on two of the other teammates here. Two of the other enemy combatants here. Kira is still dead for the time being. Our W ability is called Curse Strikes. This is where a lot of our focus is going to be today. And as we pick up Grim Scythe, you can see why. Every time we do an auto attack with our W ability active, it's going to lower the cooldown of our W ability. Meaning if we're fighting more than just like one enemy, we can have permanent uptime on this incredible buff to our auto attack. And from basically this point on in the game, we could start doing stuff like this, where I'm going to move to this camp and start clearing it so my team will have this pushing. Unfortunately, at this stage of the game, we are kind of squishy still. And really, our PvE healing is never really going to be that good. But don't worry, we will be a camp-clearing monster in no time. Maev picks up another kill on Kira in the top lane just as the objectives are coming up. The friendly team with 6 kills to the enemy team's 1, so off to a pretty aggressive start. Huge minion wave in the middle lane. Vikings are not soaking that. Is one of the Vikings dead? No, he has 2 clumped up. That's okay. We can soak this, no problem. When the objective comes up, that's going to be our #1 focus. We see Greymane initiating on our healer, and then we move in for the sweeping strikes. Can I finish him? Hey, there we go. Anduin with the auto attack gets it done. A lot of pings happening over here. Samuro calling for some assistance. We are on the way, but is it too late? No, it is not. He barely manages to hold the line, and we are rewarded with a nice mercenary camp pickup. Kira, alone in the top lane right now, is heading for that objective. We're going to pick up Harvest Vitality. This is going to make it so every time we swing with our W ability, if that hits a hero, we're going to be healing as well as dealing damage to them. Healing for 70% of the damage dealt. Now, I think Kira is very capable of 1v1ing me if I don't have this talent. But now that we do, we should be in a pretty good spot. Anduin pushed back is going to be placed inside of a Nazebo zombie wall as well. I was moving up to try to help him, but look at that healing that Kira got there. I'm just going to fall back to the wall. That is the safest place for me to be. We have plenty of vision of what's going on, and we know that there's 3 people above me here, but that's a fat XP wave, and you better believe that I am going to soak that. You better believe that I'm going to wait right here and do that. This is why Zul is a great laner, because he can deal with just about all of the aggression an enemy team could push towards him, as long as he can melee the minion wave after, and it's kind of that easy to do. We just kind of sat there and waited for it. Nazebo is running through me to get away. There's his zombie wall. I could cleave this down once we get a few more talents, but I can't do that just yet. He's just in range now for our root, so let's send it out. Our scythe does miss, but we finish him off with just a couple quick auto attacks. Now that we're level 10, Poison Nova is going to become our main focus. We're kind of going to try to just sit up wombo combos with our with our E ability in conjunction with that ult. So if he wants to jump in on me, I am more than okay with that. Let's send out the scythe. Remember, I can dodge basic attacks here, and then we just make sure that that poison is being sent out to secure that kill as well. Now, that's pretty scary to do versus a Greymane, but we know that we're already level 10, and he still doesn't have his big single target execute go for the throat, or really either of them. Either of his ultimates are great at killing single targets. We rotate down to the middle lane as Azmodan is rotating away. We know Greymane is respawning at the moment as well, so we might be able to move in here and contest this a little bit. Kira's starting to engage. We dodge her stun and then just immediately go into our cleaving strikes here. Samuro swapping in some clones is going to bring enough damage to take down this building. Mayev's not done yet, though. She's going in. We get a stun off on Greymane with the light bomb, and then just attack move into that area to cleave it down. Samuro now going for another mercenary camp here. The enemy team just hitting level 10, so they are going to be looking for a fight right now if we're not careful, but we managed to pick this up without anyone noticing. I do have a sippy cup available, and I'm heading to it right now. We want to gather that before we head into any more conflicts. Although Samuro's not afraid, and Maiev looks like she got dunked by Azmodan, unfortunately, as she was running away. We have no vision, so this might be risky, but I can do it pretty quickly. Again, we get cooldown reduction for every target that we hit, so we're not going to get a ton of cooldown reduction here, but it's at least enough to get us started. And Azebo's coming in for round 2 of him getting this camp. We're gonna pop our defenses and start swinging. The poison already doing its job. Let me just stand on this point for a quick second. Light bomb being used on me. We immediately start cleaving with our auto attacks again. Is it gonna be enough to keep me alive? I don't think so, but I'm literally in a position where I can't move. I had to sit there and do as much damage as we could. We managed to take over that mercenary camp, just holding it a little bit. If I did get my level 13 talent, we would have been fine. This is a huge power spike for Zul. This is rapid harvest. Gain 5% attack speed for 3 seconds each time Curse Strike hits an enemy, up to 75%. So, like, literally, if we cleave a couple heroes at once, our next swing comes out 15%, or 10, I guess in that example, a couple being 10% faster. And then we hit him again, it's 20% faster. And it just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. And remember, every time we hit an enemy hero, we're also healing when we hit that enemy hero as well. It's ludicrous. Now, the healing only happens against heroes, but the attack speed happens no matter the situation. So look how fast we can cleave down these mercenary camps now and get them pushing in the right direction. The enemy team is getting level 13 right now. Oh, I thought she was gonna go for the lasso there. I juked really hard. Is she still looking for it? Do I give it to her? I mean, I don't think that root's going to do anybody any good. I'm not chasing after that. We have another sippy cup again. Kira is rotating down, and we have visual confirmation of that. We want to make sure she doesn't attach to me. Maiev with the light bomb is going to stun her, and let's try to get back in there with our positioning. That stun did go off, but my root will as well. Big Poison Nova, is it going to hit anybody? Oh my god, did you see Greymane just walk around those projectiles? It looks like Kira did a similar thing down at the bottom. We're getting a root out on Greymane. He is locked down, but locked down very far away. That's the biggest downside to Poison Nova, what you just saw there. There are just some situations where it's not going to get any value, and it feels terrible when that happens. Good time stop on Stukov's allows us to get the scythe ready in the air to take down. Wow, this Maya was playing real good, real aggressive. You love to see it. I don't talk about making content for this game very often, like the actual act of making content. I feel like I'm kind of in a situation where I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. If I do viewer games, a lot of people complain in the comments that it's boring to see the same players in here all the time. If I lose, people fucking start talking shit that I lost in a pre-made. When I'm just inviting randoms into chat for viewer games, we're not like, we're not trying hard, you know what I mean? But then if I do solo queue like this is my fucking 5th game today, and every other game has had an AFKer, a guy just shit-talking the whole team. It's been fucking toxic as shit. And I really feel like if Blizzard wants to hold on to their audience at this point, if they want people to keep playing this game, and I mean, maybe they don't. I don't know what the servers cost to keep up. They gotta start getting the weeds out of here. They gotta fucking really start punishing people who AFK and just lose games for their team. It's just so disheartening. It makes me not want to play. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the opposite of what you should be trying to do if you're developing games. Okay, I feel better. I got that off my chest. My team is playing so fucking well this game. And when I saw the team comp initially, I was like, oh, I don't know about this one. I try not to judge stuff too hard for this exact reason. Like, Mayev's in here playing out of her mind. I'm going to pop my evasion move in for the big Poison Nova. We hit 4 members of the enemy team with that one easily. Now, unfortunately, oh, good life grip there, getting me back to safety. Unfortunately, I don't have, or I didn't at the time, have my curse strikes to stay in there and keep healing. But that Poison Nova felt pretty impactful, and it made that fight kind of disperse right away. Mercenary camp's moving down to the bottom lane. We are moving in with him. We see 4 members of the enemy team on our map, and the other is dead. So moving in here for some big damage could be fairly easy. And it looks like as a team fight is erupting above us, this should be a guaranteed building, especially if I get some minions over here that I can actually cleave down as well, but it looks like we don't even need them. As Greymane is respawning, we are leaving, and our prize was a free keep. Meanwhile, the top lane is still going strong. It's kind of funny that I'm dual soaking while we have Vikings. But you know, if the Vikings are up there team fighting and it's going this well, then I am happy to be the dual soaker. In fact, I would prefer this in most of my games. Just let me get camps. Just let me PvE. I can do this shit all day. Speaking of which, let's pull these guys into the corner. I'm going to start on the mage this time and cleave down the rest of this camp. The building our team is pushing into is low already, and getting that spell armor might be all that they need. You know what? Since they're doing so well with their push and 3 members of the enemy team are dead, why don't we start on the objective as well? I'm going to go for Andriel's Visage at level 20. This will make it so anytime our ultimate deals damage, that's also going to be healing us as well. It really adds up. Zul has such incredible sustain in the middle of team fights by just spreading his damage around. It is a super fun playstyle. Now, this is not the only way to play Zul, but I'm sure I'll talk about that in my intro. Just a verbal reminder for me. As we are gathering this objective, the enemy team's core is at 60%. GG was called, but I don't think the team was able to continue pushing. Now, that being said, we just took down the final building that is not the core, and the 5 remaining shots from this are going to bring it down to 43%. I'm going to be forced to back just to get healthy again. Looks like Anduin might be backing as well, but the Vikings are on their way to the final objective while the rest of our team is still pushing in towards the core. Is Samuro going to be able to get away? He's ulting for it and then going into stealth, getting that teleport forward. He could swap back and play some mind games on these guys if he really wanted to. But the core does go down, and our super weird team comp, where I thought I was going to be like our main tank, played out very different than I expected. Look at that, 8 mercenary camp captures. Meanwhile, Maiev with 41% of our team's team fight damage. Goodness gracious. Talents we picked in today's video: Shade into Grim Scythe, Harvest Vitality, Poison Nova, Rapid Harvest Weaken, and Andriel's Visage. That team got smoked. Look at that game time. That's super elite. Stats for the game as well. We ended up doing we just kind of played our own game. I gotta be honest. We were just kind of filling in the holes for our team. If they were pushing top, I was pushing middle. If they were all getting kills, I was taking map objectives. It kind of worked out really, really well. Really, really well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you guys again soon. The next character we're taking a look at is Yarel.